All right, well, for the past few days, we have been in Normandy with Andy Brigio from the Rifle and 4 World War II veterans. And one of the things that happens when you come to one of these anniversaries is you see all kinds of vehicles. We've seen vehicles and planes and everything like that. It's really, really cool. And you'll also have these encampments everywhere. So we've been invited to a barbecue here at Angoville, which if you've watched some of my past videos, you know this is where the church is located, where Bob Wright and Kenneth, 2 medics from the 101st, set up an aid station and performed some amazing things on D-Day. So anyway, we're going to look around at a few things here at this encampment today. All right, so like I said, we're here at an encampment at Angoville. Lots of World War II reenactors here. It's actually really cool to be around some of these reenactors. A lot of them are from the Netherlands and from Belgium and Denmark. And a lot of them, you know, they do this because they have a deep appreciation for what American soldiers did here in World War II. So anyway, we're gonna look around at a few things here today.
Okay, I'm Jeroen Weenink. I'm from Holland, the east of Holland. And we have a reenactment association, a group of about 40 or 50 people. We're called the Klondikes, and we reenact the 501st Parachute Infantry Regiment. And we're here at Domain Airborne. It's a place where our president is living. And every year we have a campsite over here where we reenact for a full week. And we do all kinds of things like night games. We organize the barbecue like we do now, and yeah, in that way we are a living history museum for the 501st paratroopers.
Okay. Why is it that you guys do this? Like, what motivates you to?
Yeah, I think all of us have a very close relationship with what happened with the liberation of Europe. Myself, I can say that my father had a war museum in Holland. He was really digging out planes from the ground and bringing the people, the pilots, back to the place where they came from. So it was also in my blood already when I was very young. And when I got to know this reenactment group, I was like, wow, I really want to be part of it. And I moved to Eindhoven, that's the place of Market Garden. So when I was on that holy ground, I was really like, okay, I really need to reenact the 501st Parachute Infantry Regiment, you know. And they liberated, you know, an area close to Eindhoven. So I was really, yeah, it really catch my heart. So that's why I was doing it. Yes.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you too. You too.
All right, well, like I said, we are hanging out at a World War II encampment in Angoville. This is, you know, like I said, a place where Bob Wright and Kenneth set up an aid station for the 101st Airborne in World War II. And it's really cool hanging out here and, you know, hanging out with the different people who are interacting with the veterans. This is probably going to be, for some of them, the only time that they get to meet a World War II veteran. But I was talking with Andrew Brigio, and he told me a pretty cool story that is associated with the manor house that is on this property right here in Angoville.
So we're at the property right now of Carly Nielsen's Domain Airborne. This property was here during the Second World War, during the invasion. And this property will always have a special place in my heart because the first time I came to Normandy and the first time I brought a World War II veteran to Normandy was right here on this property, and that was Frank Murphy from the 83rd Aerodrome Squadron. While hanging out and you know, conversating and having dinner in Charles's, I guess you can say, the main living area of the facility, he brought my attention to a drawing that was on the wall and has been here for, at that time, 75 years. And that was a drawing left by Allied forces after they advanced through the area. And the sketch is almost identical to the farmhouses and another stable at the time, which is now, this is all now a bed and breakfast, of an Allied soldier who sketched this with a pencil. And it's signed France, July 7th by W.M. MacDonald. And Carly had always told me we wish we could find out who this W.M. MacDonald was. Well, of course, when I left Normandy, I had the bug, the research bug, the investigative bug. And I did a little police research and started looking up obituaries for W.M. MacDonalds that were World War II veterans. Well, I found an interesting obituary out of California for a William MacDonald. And the obituary had said that he had been an intelligence scout during World War II who would often etch or sketch drawings for the intelligence to give back for Allied commanders and Allied forces of different territories and terrain. He also became an avid drawer after the war, and most of the obituary was about his drawing skills. So I said, what are the odds that this guy, William MacDonald, is a World War II veteran and he likes to draw? Fortunately enough, in the obituary comments was his daughter, Sue MacDonald. I clicked her, found her on Facebook, and I said, hello, Sue. You may not know me, but my name is Andrew Biggio. I have recently returned from a trip to France. Curiosity, and I sent the picture, does this happen to be your dad's signature? And I couldn't believe the email I got back saying, along with the way he signed his checks that she sent back, W.M. MacDonald, word for word, oh my God, this is my father's signature. Where did you find this? And that sparked a huge connection. I think a year or two later, Sue MacDonald and the other sisters flew out to this property, stayed here for their first trip to Normandy, and got to see where Dad served with Dad's drawing. So one of my best investigative skills completed, and very fortunate we could close that hole in their daughter's heart to see where Dad served physically.
All right, I want to take a little closer look at this drawing. So here you can see some details in the farmhouse, and then down below it reads, says, this is a typical rural French home. Notice the courtyard. It seems to be quite the style over here. The people who live here at present had their home destroyed. This is the servants' quarters they live in now. The residents are very wealthy people. In their precious home, the furnishings cost over $30,000, over 1 million francs. And then it's signed William MacDonald, France, July 17th. Now, take a good look at this. We're going to, in just a moment, step outside and look at the real structure. Now, when they were doing the cleanup for this farm, as you might imagine, there were a lot of artifacts that were left behind from the fighting that took place here on June 6th that they unearthed. So I'm seeing some different bottles and some books and a helmet. If we look down here, here are some rations. And then, as you might expect, there was a lot of gunfire in this area. So there's an M1 Grand clip with the ammunition still in it and some bullets, all kinds of things. But what is the coolest to me that was found is probably this MG42 barrel. That is cool as heck. All right, I'm going to dodge outside real quick now. We are currently looking at a structure here on the premises that served as the stable, and it's thought that William was sitting inside the stable when he made his drawing, and there wouldn't have been a wall right here. It would have been all open. So you can imagine him sitting there with his pencil and his paper, getting ready to make the sketch of these buildings right here, and also the courtyard. And we even have a World War II Jeep just to add a little bit more flavor to it. Yeah, that is really cool, and I love the story that's attached to it, where his family came back here in later years. Here's something else that's really neat that they have here in the courtyard. Of course, this was occupied by the Germans prior to June 6th, and one of the things that the Germans left behind was some of their oil drums. So here you can see a couple of 200-liter fuel drums. Yeah, little stuff like this is just cool to me. All right, well, that was actually pretty dang cool. I love these little side stories and these personal accounts that kind of add to the overall story of Normandy and World War II. And I just found out something else. So Bob Wright, one of the medics who was here on D-Day, his son is actually here in the encampment as well. So I'm going to see if I can catch up with him and maybe chat with him a little bit. And then I think they have a special surprise for him afterward.
My name is Robert Wright Jr. My father is Bob Wright, one of the two medics that was at Angoville Plain. We never talked about World War II or anything, and then somewhere in the middle to late 80s, he went to a 501st Snowbird reunion in Florida, and then he started talking more about it. But Bob Wright was my hero long before he talked about coming here or having come here. The war and what he's done here is not a major thing to me. But when I see people that he is so important to them, I feel it is important that I come here and represent him. From 2004 until 2013, when he died, he and I would come here to Europe almost every year, most of the time here, and sometimes we would go to the Netherlands and spend our time, but we preferred it here. For many years, we were friends of Michel Lecadet, and my dad would stay there, and this was the same place where Maxwell Taylor had his headquarters. I joke about the fact that actually my dad not only sleeps in the same room as Maxwell Taylor did, but he also sleeps in the same bed and probably the same mattress. When I first came here, he had a stroke in November of 2003. In fall of 2004, I knew that I would have to take care of him, not take care of him so much as that, but just be him to make sure I had take him where he had to go and so forth. He still was very active, but we would come here, and the first time I came was in the Netherlands. There was a museum that sponsored this, and when I saw how everybody treated my dad, I knew that I would have to take care of him, that there was too many people that loved my dad, and I didn't think I had a choice. I had to spend the rest of whatever his life was to make sure that he had as good a life as possible, because of all these thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people in Europe that call him their hero. And so that's the way it was. In 2012, he got his French Legion d'Honneur medal in St. Mary-Glisse. And when he was being presented, there was a German woman soldier on one side and an American sergeant major on the other side. And the commentator made the comment that it was so appropriate that there was a German on one side and an American on the other side, because Dad had treated them all equal inside the church. And that's the way Bob Wright was. He had a hard time being mad at anybody, and he knew that they were just doing their duty. A few of them were bad, but in general they were just doing their duty, and he felt that they deserved to be cared for and live just as well as the American soldiers did.
Quit it! All right. Fuck. I don't know where I am. Oh, fuck. We have to search the map. You should probably put it down.
Which suggest a map?
I don't know. Is this the wrong place, the right place? I don't know. Right. Medic, I need you up front. Check it out. The situation is here, but I know where you are. Is this the right place or the wrong place? What do you think?
This is the right square.
The right square?
Yeah.
On this front? The right square. Right. Then I think we are the right. Right. That's it. Hold your horse. Right. Robert. This is the right square. Yes? Keep that in mind. For you all. Captain Carly.
Oh my God. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Show to everybody. We are here at the Robert E. Wright Square Combat Medic 501st Parachute Infantry Regiment. Woo! All right. Get up. Airborne! All the way! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
Would you stay with Anya and Carly, please? Robert?
All right, well, that was actually pretty dang cool. I wasn't really expecting that. But anyway, that's one of the many things that you'll see when you come here on the anniversary. You never know what you're going to see. But as for now, we are going to, I think, load up the bus. Was so busy talking to people and videoing that I didn't get any barbecue. But anyway, that's okay. I'll stop by a grocery store and get myself a snack. But anyway, we're going to be hitting some other very interesting places tomorrow.